Sam had come to the big smoke, full of hope and dreams. Dreams which turned to dust. And after 18 months of failure, abject failure, he wound up on the graveyard shift, guarding one of the black towers rising above the city's financial district. It could have been a whole lot worse, Sam thought ruefully. For the good thing about the graveyard shift, midnight to 8 in the morning, was the solitude. There was no one around. No office workers, no managers, no cleaners, and no other guards even, unless you counted the guys in the lobby, 35 floors below. No, Sam existed in splendid isolation, which suited him just fine. The work was easy. Once an hour, between midnight and 6 a.m., he did a patrol of the 5 floors under his protection, looking for anything out of the ordinary. And there was never anything out of the ordinary. Although walking alone through shadowy offices and passageways in the middle of the night would have creeped most people out. When Sam wasn't on patrol, he was at the security desk, drinking instant coffee, smoking cigarettes, and reading vintage horror. Lovecraft, M.R. James, Le Fanu, Bram Stoker, James Herbert, and he never got creeped out. Never. Until it was early spring. While doing his rounds, Sam had paused before one of the big picture windows in the executive suite and looked out at the ripe full moon looming over the metropolis. And then he returned to the security desk and, lighting an Export A, picked up his current book, a collection of vintage horror stories edited by the Reverend Montague Summers. His current story was a vampire tale, Carmilla, by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu. He loved saying that name, Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu. It had seemed an appropriate tale for the night of the full moon. But after a while, Sam found he was nodding off and thought he would make himself an instant coffee in the staff cafeteria. Sam took the elevator up to the 39th floor, mug of Encore instant coffee in hand, just needing some hot water. But when he unlocked the door to the darkened cafeteria, he paused. A mysterious smell or scent hung in the still air. Not the usual kitchen aromas, but more of a lady's perfume smell. Musk? Was it musk? But that was as far as he was able to describe it. It was the scent of a woman. But as to what kind of perfume, Sam was the first to admit that women were a mystery to him. One woman in particular. But why should he smell lingering perfume in a closed room in a locked building? He was the only person in the lunchroom, and there were no other people on the 5 floors he guarded. And no one had been here for hours. They did turn off the air at night. That must be it. No airflow to dissipate any lingering smells. Anyway, his throat was dry, and he needed a coffee. At around 4 a.m., he went on patrol, and a funny thing happened on the 37th floor. On exiting the elevator, Sam turned on the lights for the entire floor and began making his way through the maze of corridors and cubicles. When he was at the farthest point from the elevators and the light switches, the lights went out. Sam was freaked. Not because he couldn't see. He had a flashlight, and the all-around windows let in light from the surrounding buildings. No. What was freaking him out was, who turned out the damn lights? He was supposed to be alone. Supposed to be. Sam made his way back to the elevator bank. Hello, hello, anybody here? Anybody here? But he didn't see or hear any intruders. He turned the lights back on and resumed his patrol. And about halfway round, the lights went out again. Sam raced back to the elevators, but nothing. No one. Maybe the damn lights are on a timer, he wondered. I'll check with the day shift, see if they know anything. Sam completed the rest of his rounds on the 37th and the other floors without further incident. When Sam got back to his desk, he had no sooner lit another cigarette when a motion light went off in the executive suite. A bank of TV monitors sat by the desk, but when Sam looked at the screen, which had suddenly lit up, there was no one there. No sign of movement. Just a corridor, now brightly lit. Sam stared intently at the small black and white screen, and suddenly, she was there, in the corner of the frame. And he knew her. She was tall. Very tall for a girl. 6 feet, but slender. Slender and slim, with shoulder-length chestnut hair. He had gone to school with her, back when he believed in higher education. Hell, he'd even spoken to her. But he didn't know her name. She was the girl, the one at the periphery of his life, as she always seemed to be at the periphery of his vision. Sam generally saw her at a distance, on the other side of the cafeteria or the pub, at the far end of a corridor, walking in from the parking lot, always in a crowd, always at a distance. But he was instantly aware of her whenever she was in his vicinity. He would look up and see her, and their eyes would lock in recognition, no matter how far away. They were somehow, in some strange way, connected. But Sam had only one conversation with her. Sam had gone over the river to the US of A with a bunch of his drinking buddies and had wound up in a multi-level disco in the falls. Looking over the balcony from the top floor, he had seen the mysterious lady down on the ground level, standing over to one side, apparently alone. Sam was drunk and too lazy to budge, and was still perched by the rail minutes later when he felt someone gently touch his arm. "Hello," was all she said, to which Sam said, Who are you?" It turned out she was studying Eastern European history, and to Sam, as he gazed at her pale, oval face, her luminous gray eyes, she looked vaguely Slavic, perhaps Russian. She stood close to him in order to be heard above the sound of the disco, and he could smell her perfume, a heady and very sensual musk. Musk. He was on the verge of asking her if he could get her a drink, when Richie barged up and bellowed, "Come on, asshole, we're going for a blue cheeseburger." And when Sam tried to open his mouth, Richie added, "She ain't interested in you. Come on, unless you want to walk back to Canada." Sam went to offer an apology to his mysterious companion, thinking maybe I could get a ride back with her. But she was already walking away. Christ, he still didn't know her name. She'd talked a lot, but never told him her name. Sam saw her around a few more times, but always at a distance, and he never spoke with her again. And now the same girl was apparently roaming around in the executive suite of a locked office building at 4:26 in the morning, on the 40th floor of a locked office building at 4:26 in the morning. Sam rode the elevator up and began looking around. "Hello? Hello? Anyone here? Is there anyone here? Hello?" Nothing. No one. Just the lingering smell of perfume. Musk. The same perfume he noticed in the cafeteria. And then it all came back to him. The girl standing next to him in the disco years before. The scent of her perfume. It was the same perfume the girl had worn. A sultry and sensual musk. Sam heard the bell of an arriving elevator. He was on the far side of the executive suite and ran as fast as he could. But the elevator had already gone. Sam hit the button and waited impatiently. Come on, hurry up. He rode down to the lobby. "Did you see a woman just now get out of the elevator?" he yelled at the lobby guard, who just laughed and asked Sam what he had been smoking. Sam raced through the revolving doors and out onto King Street, looking right and left. There weren't many people around, but 2 blocks further east, turning south on Bay Street, he saw the girl's silhouette. She turned and looked back at him. Their eyes locked. This story is to be continued. Happy New Year! Happy New Year and Happy New Decade, the Roaring 20s. Happy New Year and thanks for listening. Please share this video and comment. I love comments and always try to respond. Drop a like and consider subscribing for more night floaters and weird tales. Hope your 20s will be roaring. Stay tuned to this channel and stay hungry.